Hi guys, Dan Cooper here from Pro Tools Expert, and I've got myself a copy of Martin France drums by Ratley and Raw that I want to show you around today. First, a little bit of history. If you don't already know, Martin France is a well-known, respected drummer who has performed and recorded with the likes of Dave Gilmour, Elvis Costello, and countless other jazz artists worldwide. Ratley and Raw are a UK-based company that make quite a few rough and ready, yet genius little sample libraries that I recommend you check out, as you'll find that they do things slightly different to other companies. The collaboration between Martin France and Ratley and Raw has produced this signature drum package that offers drum VI users a familiar layout with an extensive collection of really sweet sounding drums from Martin's own personal collection. This really isn't a complicated GUI. When I first loaded it up, I found it very easy to get around. So let me just give you a very quick overview of what I believe are the most important areas of the interface. We have 4 pages at the bottom: Performance, Mix, Effects, and Tweak. At the top left, Performance, we have presets with 2 categories, the first being default sets, which gives us the option to switch between the 3 full drum kits that have been sampled. We have a club custom kit, a Gretsch kit, and a Sonar Light kit. There's also an extensive selection of individual snares, kicks and crashes, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, back to the preset browser. The other category is design kits, which gives us the option to choose drums in a stylistic genre of music kind of way. So let's have a little look under here. We've got glitch kit, disco, Latin jazz, pop, and quite a few others. In the middle, we have a no-nonsense graphic of the drums that don't quite respond how you would expect them to. Usually in a drum VI, the main graphic acts as the basic function for quickly auditioning hits by clicking the mouse on the drum piece. Sadly, this isn't the case here, but Ratley and Raw have a very slightly different method for auditioning drum hits. First, select the drum, so I'm going to go for the snare. You can see it highlights it, and then at the top right, you hit this little speaker icon, and it plays it for you. Move it around, you get the different articulations. And just above it, it's very easy to switch between the different elements of the kit, as this is where you'll find the extended kicks, snares, and cymbals that I mentioned earlier. Below, we have an ambience control section, so that we can easily dial in how much of a hit we would like to play direct. So if I go for floor tom, you can bring the overhead up, or the close mic. Bring the overhead down there. For toms, we can adjust the resonance, so if I can bring it all the way back, or all the way open, and bring the room up, which in this case was an enormous church that they sampled it in. So quite a few options there. At the bottom, we have sound check, and this is a great feature which helps us to remap our keys. We can go through each one. It's a very simple little setup. It'll say bass drum. You click the key on your keyboard or your controller that you want to be the kick drum, and it'll go along all the different hits, and then you're done. So at the bottom, the next page along is the mixer page, and it's business as usual here with reverb send, pan, fader level, mute and solo. Now this mixer is missing the ability to output the separate levels for inputting to aux tracks in our DAW, which is a shame as this is a big part of my workflow, but still, this is a very usable internal mixer that I'm sure the majority can get on with just fine. So the next page along is FX, and it has some great effects included. We sadly don't have the ability to have dynamics and effects on individual elements of the kit, except from the reverb send back on the mixer. But instead, I think the point of this is for us to affect the drums as a whole, as though we were sending it on a bus, for instance. Each one of the effects can be engaged by clicking the name at the top. So we have compression, mix knob, bring it back a little bit, makeup gain, bright selector, tape saturation, transient designer, distortion. Reverb, which works over here back at the mixer. We've got sends just at the top here, so we can put a little bit of reverb on the kick. And we have EQ at the bottom here. Moving along, and the last page we have at the bottom here is Tweak, which gives us two very simple engine performance options. First one being voice engine usage to help slower computers or sessions that have lots of VIs and plugins going on. And the other one to the right here, we have velocity curve. And that's Martin France drums in a nutshell. It really is that straightforward, which is a good thing, as I get the impression this is all about keeping it simple so that we only use what we really need. And I like that, as to be honest, I don't even use half the bells and whistles that are included in many other drum VIs out there. So great job, Rattly Raw. As I mentioned earlier though, the only feature I believe this is missing is the ability to output the individual tracks. But really, this isn't going to make me stop using this VI, as the quality of the samples are second to none. Go check out Rattly and Raw for more information. I've been Dan, and thanks for watching.